The four across the middle are Szczerbakowicz, Frula, Koopmeiners and Marla, with Pasalic, Ilicic and Muriel as the three up front. Well, it's a very warm welcome and thank you for joining us on this independent off-tube studio commentary. It's a game in the Champions League from Group F as Manchester United take on Atalanta. And United starts in this year's Champions League has been far from perfect, so all of a sudden this game at home against a very tough Atalanta side becomes all the more important. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's men certainly know that they're under pressure this evening. It's myself, Paul Szczerbakowicz and John Francis taking you through the action. And John, United at home are always you would think a safe bet, but against this Atalanta side it certainly won't be easy.
Oh no, not easy at all. Atalanta certainly will fancy their chances away from home. They're full of goals, and Manchester United of course have struggled at home recently. I know a lot of that was during the pandemic with no fans in the stadium, but even so they tend to concede quite a lot of goals at home. And of course the defeat at Leicester last time out, not a good performance, shipping goals, and they were too easy to play against really. So Atalanta, I'm sure, will be studying that, although they do have one or two key players missing. Atalanta, that might affect them tonight, but looking forward to a decent game. I think Atalanta might be on the front foot if they can.
Absolutely, and we know that they have a very vociferous travelling support as well, so that's away end at Old Trafford this evening is certainly going to be jumping, and if Atalanta can keep it 0-0, well, certainly if they can score first, then that pressure on the United players will certainly be growing. Any other goals that go in this evening, we will let you know. A couple of results earlier: Barcelona beating Dynamo Kiev by 1-0, Salzburg beating Wolfsburg by 3-1. Just to remind you of the two teams, David De Gea is in goal for Manchester United with a back four of Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Victor Lindelof, Harry Maguire and Luke Shaw. The two holding midfielders are Scott McTominay and Fred. The three ahead of them are Mason Greenwood, Bruno Fernandes and Marcus Rashford, with Cristiano Ronaldo as the front man. As for Atalanta, it's Juan Musso in goal with a back three of Martin de Roon, Demiral and Jose Luis Palomino. The four across the middle, David Szczerbakowicz, Remo Frula, Tuan Koopmeiners and Joachim Marla, and with Mario Pasalic, Joseph Ilicic and Luis Muriel as the three up front. It is Bruno Fernandes trying to get the ball forward down the right-hand side. Claims he was fouled there by Palomino, but the linesman is not interested. It's a Polish refereeing team this evening, with Szymon Marciniak being our main referee. Ball now back on the halfway line here with Manchester United and Harry Maguire, who, as you mentioned, John, they were shipping goals on Saturday, and Maguire was, dare I say it, part of the reason for that. He had a bad game, didn't he?
Yeah, it's almost like they rushed him back a little bit too quickly, wasn't it? Just to fill in there, because, of course, the injury to Rafael Varane. I'll just break off.
Yeah, well, a great ball there from McTominay, and it puts through Rashford, one-on-one, and he's put it wide. Has the flag gone up to spare Rashford's blushes? Well, even if the flag has gone up, he still should have put the ball into the back of the net. I think the flag may have gone up. Now, we'll just see from the replay here. It's Wan-Bissaka. Lovely little turn there from Greenwood to find McTominay. Oh, is he offside there, John? It's very, very close.
It's tight. He made a similar run against Leicester, didn't he? And he put it in at the weekend. Good play from Manchester United. Positive turn from Scott McTominay. Slid the ball through for Marcus Rashford, and he's got to be hitting the target there, hasn't he? Like he did at the weekend.
He's got to do better in that situation. I'm not sure that the flag did go up in the end, but even if it did, I mean, he still should have tested the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper did well though as well. Juan Musso just rushed out, forced Rashford into a bit of a tight angle, but Atalanta in possession now down the right-hand side with Szczerbakowicz. Gets that ball through to Muriel. Back to Muriel now at the edge of the area. He's got a bit of space. He wants it on his left foot. Gets a strike away. Blocked by the feet of Wan-Bissaka. Loose ball now on the left-hand side. Picked up by Frula. And he's under pressure here from Bruno Fernandes. Keeps possession. Tries to backheel the ball to a teammate. Marla to be specific. But United are able to clear the danger with Wan-Bissaka playing it square to McTominay. But then he rushes his clearance and gives possession back to Atalanta.
Yeah, good chance really for Muriel. It was blocked. There were a lot of bodies between him and the goal, but he got himself into a good position there on the edge of the box.
What a great run this is from Szczerbakowicz. Breaks into the box. I tell you what, Luke Shaw had a foot down there for a second. They're looking, certainly Atalanta wants a corner kick after all of that. It is just going to be a goal kick in the end. I did wonder, Shaw, well, he's sort of got his body in the way of Szczerbakowicz without getting his legs tangled, but it wasn't. I'd say one more step there from Shaw. He could have been tripping him.
Yeah, I thought he maybe would have gone down there, Szczerbakowicz, but he just took one touch too many, didn't it? Just allowed Maguire to get back in there, and he managed to just played square across the box, but maybe he was off balance. Had to take that extra touch and allowed Maguire to get back in there. But positive signs here from Atalanta.
Yeah, positive indeed. Clearance from De Gea, played straight back towards the Manchester United penalty area. Maguire with a clearance now down the left-hand side, but that one is stopped on the halfway line by Demiral, but it's played straight back over the top. We could see a few long balls here as both sides trying to catch each other out. Here is Rashford now. He gets to the edge of the area, can't skip past the big presence of Jose Luis Palomino, and then the ball is played down the right-hand side out for a throw to Atalanta. We can see Gianpiero Gasperini, who's been charged with this Atalanta side. It's a bit of a slow start to their Serie A campaign, just 6th place after 8 games. But they're one of these sides that can always get into a bit of form as well.
Yeah, they always tend to find the net as well. It's back 8 games in all competitions they've scored in, so the danger is there for Manchester United tonight. And
it could be here again, as here comes Joachim Mahler down the left-hand side. Danish international gets the ball to Muriel at the edge of the area. He then plays it back to Freuler. Under pressure back towards Demiral on the halfway line. But 6 minutes gone, independent of Tube Studio commentary. And I would say that Atalanta are shading it in terms of possession.
Yeah, there was that early opportunity for Rashford, wasn't there? And but since then, Atalanta stroking it around quite nicely, full of confidence and fancying their chances at Old Trafford.
Well, here they go again now. It's a bit of space now for Palomino. He plays it square at the edge of the area. Now it's over on the right-hand side. Szczerbakowicz gets a ball in just a little bit too close to that 6-yard box. Easily cleared in the end by Harry Maguire, out for a throw to Atalanta down the right-hand side.
He's getting in a lot, isn't he, Szczerbakowicz? And it's that argument about Manchester United players tracking back the forward players. Rashford hasn't really done it too much, although saying that he's there now with Luke Shaw, but they can't allow Szczerbakowicz and particularly Mailer, the guy who had such a good Euros for Denmark, to get forward like that. They've got to have those runners to track back.
Yeah, it is an attacking formation, really, with a 3-4-3. It just shows that Gasperini does have confidence in his players to arrive at a place like Old Trafford and set up with that kind of tactic. The ball's out for another throw to Atalanta. They go back towards the halfway line where they've got Palomino and Demiral. There is Palomino now over towards the left-hand side. Here is Mahler. Back towards Palomino. A bit of pressing there from Bruno Fernandes and from Greenwood. But so far, Atalanta in their white strip this evening, looking very comfortable on the ball. Ball back with Demiral over on the right-hand side now for Freuler. You can see a bit of loose possession there from Atalanta, and United can capitalise, but the ball from Bruno Fernandes towards Rashford, asking a little bit too much there of Rashford. He very nearly got there in the end, but Atalanta just about to deal with the danger.
Yeah, looking lively, isn't he, Marcus Rashford? First start, obviously, after that surgery he had after the Euros and the disappointment of missing in the shootout in the final. But yeah, looking lively early on. He's had one side to a goal and looked to have the pace there to get past the Atalanta defender.
Absolutely. We've got our first goal in the 8 o'clock kickoffs this evening, and it's in this group. Villarreal taking an early lead away at Young Boys. Just to confirm the goal scorer for you. It was Pino that got the goal there for Villarreal. But here are United now in midfield with Scott McTominay being closed down by Mario Pasalic. Ball now back over on the right-hand side for Wan-Bissaka. It's a lot of these passes for United, and they're having to do them inside their own half. But now Bruno Fernandes sends a long ball over the top, and the goalkeeper rushes out. He heads it away from Ronaldo. Rashford could see the goalkeeper of his line, so he tried to volley it from 40 yards. Just lost his balance, couldn't get his shot away. And it is the visitors in possession. That's a nice touch there from Ilicic to get the ball down the left-hand side. Mahler finds Muriel, and Muriel playing that ball inside. This is good play here from Atalanta, and some space here for Pasalic now as he gets to the edge of the area. Puts a cross in just a little bit too high there for Ilicic, and the ball played back into midfield, but it doesn't drop to a red shirt. It's straight back into Atalanta possession. And here is Freuler now finding Mahler on the left-hand side. Back to Palomino. You can see how deep Manchester United are having to play here, and the point that John was making about the forward players not really pressing. Well, Ronaldo and Bruno Fernandes, Rashford, they are sort of a little bit deeper now, but Atalanta are still moving the ball around quite freely so far.
Yeah, it was highlighted, wasn't it, at the weekend that Manchester United was sort of a bit half-hearted, the pressing on Leicester, wasn't it? It allowed them to play through them.
Yeah, but they've won the ball back now, and it's a quick run here from Bruno Fernandes. He finds Mason Greenwood over to Ronaldo. Ronaldo leaves it here for Fernandes. Fernandes hits it on the run. It takes a big deflection, which in theory could have helped Ronaldo get on the end of it. But the ball deflects into the path of the goalkeeper, and Wan-Bissaka makes a comfortable save.
First time we've really seen Ronaldo, haven't we, in full flight there, but good run, got Atalanta on the back foot, spun up to Greenwood, but his shot looped up into the air, and Musso was there, who did well previously when alert to get onto that ball over the top. But yeah, so far pretty comfortable for Atalanta. And as you say, they're knocking the ball around at the back here, and Manchester United's players just walking towards them.
And now a long ball over the top, and if Marler could take this down, well, he sort of prodded it past Wan-Bissaka, but he lost his balance as he did so, and Wan-Bissaka able to sweep that ball back towards De Gea. De Gea's clearance towards Ronaldo, he takes it down on the halfway line, but then Fred is dispossessed, and here come Atalanta now. Pasalic gets the ball to Muriel at the edge of the area. Held up by Wan-Bissaka, goes back to Marler. Marler then switches play over towards the right-hand side, looking for Szczerbakowicz. That's good play there from Luke Shaw to win the ball back. Then a good strong challenge there from Cooper Miners. Doesn't keep Atalanta in possession, though. A long ball over the top now for Ronaldo to chase. He then collides with Demiral, who then points towards the goal kick. I don't think Demiral's going to get to the goal kick. He was never going to give a free kick away, but it always looked like a corner.
Yeah, it would have been a soft free kick, wouldn't it? Demiral just gave him around. To be fair, actually, he gave him a bit of a nudge there, didn't he? And,
but in doing so, he forgot about where the ball was.
Yeah,
it was
exactly.
that keen on pushing Ronaldo that he forgot that the ball was still at his feet, and he gave a corner kick away. I wonder if it wasn't a corner, if the ref had given a free kick there. It was one of those where there wasn't too much attempt to play the ball there, really, from Merih Demiral. But a set piece now for Manchester United. It's not really worked for them so far in open play. So what can they do from this corner? It's going to be a right-footed in-swinger from Bruno Fernandes, aimed at the near post. Good strong header away by Remo Frella, the Swiss international. Back to Bruno Fernandes. Another cross in. Once again, Frella with the header away. And now we can get a counter-attack here for Atalanta, because it's with Josip Ilicic on the halfway line, on the right-hand side. He's got 3 players joining him on the counter, and the pass doesn't find any of them.
Yeah, poor pass. That wasn't a good break from Atalanta. They had 3 up there, and they had Pasalic inside there as well. And just couldn't make the most of it there, Atalanta. Again, looked a decent counter-attack, particularly with Ilicic and Pasalic, but a poor pass in the end.
It was a poor pass, and United once again lose possession in midfield. It was Bruno Fernandes this time, and Jose Luis Palomino now brings the ball forward for Atalanta. Square to Marler, being closed down by Wan-Bissaka. 12 minutes gone, independent off Tube Studio commentary. It is goalless between Manchester United and Atalanta. But certainly the better impression has been made by the visitors so far, looking just that little bit more accomplished on the ball. But haven't really tested De Gea so much, but certainly plenty of work for his defenders. A huge switch play there from right to left. I'm not really sure what's that Szczerbakowicz on the right-hand side. Even the manager, Gasperini, is looking a little bit exasperated by that.
Exasperini with that pass.
Excellent.
But I was expecting someone to appear in the picture.
I was as well, because the ball was switched to an area where there was literally nobody in the same postcode in a white shirt. So I'm not really sure what the Atalanta man was trying to do there. But it is a throw on to Manchester United, still close to their own penalty area, and they very nearly lose possession. Marler almost dispossessed Greenwood, but he does well to find Bruno Fernandes. And this is becoming a theme now. It seems as though every Manchester United attack in this match so far has started with a long ball.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, they had a little bit of joy early on, didn't they, with Rashford? But apart from that, Atalanta have been watching the runs pretty carefully, and the goalkeeper's been sweeping up as well. And I think it's just been a bit of a tepid start for Manchester United generally.
It has. It's the start I think that United didn't want. They wanted to start well, to get the crowd on side, to silence that travelling support, and to put pressure on Atalanta, and that hasn't really happened so far. As I say, De Gea has not had a save to make so far, but you just feel as though Atalanta are just moving that ball out a little bit more confidently so far. What's interesting here is that we can see one of the Atalanta substitutes seems to be warming up there, or at least getting his shin pads in order. Can't quite make out from the camera angle that we've got who it is, but now we're getting shots of Merih Demiral, and it looks as though Demiral might have a bit of a problem here.
Yeah, it looks as though it doesn't seem to be moving too badly, though, does it? I just wonder whether they're going to keep an eye on it. Maybe a hamstring, possibly, but he's moving reasonably well. He's not exactly limping, but maybe just maybe going to give it another couple of minutes just to see if he can carry on. That'd be a big blow for Atalanta.
It would be. He's very much that kind of centre-back that Gasperini likes. He's big, he's strong, but he's also a ball player. Could pretty much pass the ball as a midfielder, and that's exactly what Atalanta need in the centre of that defence. particularly with their style being to play out from the back. A bit of a comical throw there from Szczerbakowicz. He actually managed to catch his own teammate on the side of the head there, Coop Miners, but the ball still stays in Atalanta's possession. And there's a bit of a clumsy foul there from Fred, giving a free kick away around about the halfway line. John, you made the point before kickoff that I'll get your thoughts in a second, but in the meantime, a long ball over the top here for Muriel. Takes it down on the right-hand side. Forced now to play it back towards Coop Miners. There's an overlap here from Szczerbakowicz, and that early goal that Atalanta have been promising comes on 15 minutes, and it's Mario Pasalic who hits that ball inside the 6-yard box. It was a lovely overlap down the right-hand side.
Oh, that's far too easy, isn't it? I mean, Manchester United's defending there was absolutely atrocious. I mean, Pasalic just wandered into the 6-yard box, didn't he? And he just had a tap in. But no attempt to get to the ball on the byline there. It was far too easy. Just a ball clipped down the channel there. A good run from Muriel into the channel, up against Lindelof. Just turns away from him here. Manchester United plenty back here. It's just a simple ball into Szczerbakowicz, isn't it, into the area. Ooh. And just wonder whether it might be offside here.
Well, is the ball level with him? Yeah, I mean, the VAR is supposed to be a little bit more lenient across Europe, not just in the Premier League. Yeah. But we'll see from this replay here.
I think it'd be harsh if it was ruled out.
I'd be surprised if they ruled it out, but then I don't want to say for definite, because we've seen a number of VAR replays where both commentators have gone, well, he's clearly going to give this decision, and then it goes the other way. So let's just be sure before they actually restart play. But
he was in far too easily, wasn't he, though?
It was. Yeah, I mean, as you made the point there, that there were more red shirts than white shirts there, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer with that slightly frustrated look. And we'll see what he can do to respond here, what his players can do to respond. The point I was going to make to you, just as that free kick was being taken, was you mentioned at kickoff that it is interesting how, well, we're now waiting to hear whether or not the goal's going to be given.
I think it has been given, hasn't it? I think so. I think we're just waiting, although the linesman's now...
The linesman's now having his...
Oh, they are still checking it.
No, they are. The confirmation that the goal has been given, and Manchester United trail here by a goal to nil. I think it was the linesman's radio equipment there had come up. They've got these sort of shoulder pads now, the referees, haven't they? And I think it just come loose. But the point I was going to make was that Fred starts and Pogba on the bench. That is interesting when you think how big a game this is for United.
A double blow as well for Manchester United, Paul. At Villarreal have gone 2 up against Young Boys in the other game in this group. So puts Manchester United under even more pressure.
It shows United as in last place in the live table right now. So things are hotting up here in Group F. Plenty of time still, of course, don't forget. There's only 17 minutes gone here, so as things stand, it's still enough time here for United to recover this. But certainly the body language of the players, and now we're getting shots of Michael Carrick and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. There's not a sort of call to arms. It's almost like they've sort of sunk into their seats and gone, oh, God, we've conceded first here.
And even though we can't hear the Old Trafford crowd, you can tell it's flat, can't you?
It is. There's just not. There's not been a chorus really, and as I say, that's Atalanta away end. One of our commentary colleagues, a Norwegian here based in the north of England, who's been a Atalanta fan his whole life. He's there this evening, so I'm sure he'll be absolutely delighted with the start that his team have made.
Well, I think the goal was deserved, wasn't it? Because of the start Atalanta.
I think so.
You made the point, they hadn't actually created a clear-cut chance, but the first one they have created, they've taken it.
But the intent was there, wasn't it? Yeah. There was a lot of quick passing, a lot of possession in and around the penalty area, and they did it step by step, whereas United's attacks all came from long balls. It's a free kick to Atalanta down the left-hand side, taken short by Frula towards Mahler. United are back in numbers, and so the visitors just forced to roll the ball back. Nice to see as well, Muriel with number 9 on his shirt, pretty much playing as a defensive midfielder there, just keeping a bit of possession for his side. You can see there's a really good understanding about the way that Atalanta are playing, but the ball now to Mahler is cut out there by Wan-Bissaka, out for a throw, and the worry for United is the goal was scored a couple of minutes ago now. They've not really had any possession since then.
No, they haven't responded, have they? They look half asleep, don't they? I think they're all sort of looking around at one another.
It's almost like they're looking around to see who's going to drag us out of it. Well, you're all big names yourselves. You should be dragging each other out of this, because it's still looking a little bit tight here for United in midfield. But Atalanta in possession, and it's Palomino now playing the ball back to Demiral. But it seems like a long time ago now that we were worried about him having to go off. We've had a goal scored since then with a VAR check, so Atalanta had plenty of time to make the change. Obviously, Demiral still okay to play on for the time.
Yeah, it looks like it, doesn't it? We're just having a look, just confirmation that he was onside because of the lines there.
Yeah, it's the ball. The ball plays him onside. The ball creates the line in that situation, and his shoulder. I think his arm was actually in front of the line, but his goal-scoring part of his body, if you like, I think is very much onside.
Last season it would have been disallowed, wouldn't it?
I think so, yeah, I think so. But having said that, though, I think the UEFA lines were always that little bit more lenient than the Premier League ones, which were ridiculous. I mean, as the amount of times that toenail seems to get people offside was a bit of a joke. As Moreno confirmation gets that second goal for Villarreal. So Manchester United in last place in the group. When you look at a group with Atalanta, Villarreal, Young Boys and Man United, you wouldn't have predicted that United were under threat of not even getting into third place in that group.
Well, they've got to be winning the group, haven't
Should
they?
be, really, yeah.
They should be anything less than that. I mean, they'll probably take going through second now, won't they, if they can.
But here come United now, down the right-hand side. It's Ronaldo breaking into the box, holds it up on the line and then plays it across. Oh, it's just a little bit too high for Bruno Fernandes, but it drops to Fred, and it's fingertip save from Juan Musso. Tips it over the bar, but that's the first time the Atalanta goalkeeper's been called into any sort of action.
Yeah, poor defending from Atalanta there, wasn't it? Ronaldo was in a little bit too easily. It just stood the cross up to the back post, almost dropped to Fernandes, but dropped to Fred. That's a good save, actually. Demiral was behind him on the line, but he got a good, strong hand on that. Just too high for Bruno Fernandes, who got in front of Koopmeiners there. Fred took a touch left foot, and certainly on target, and so tipped it over the top.
Yes, Musso had to try and rush out for that Rashford effort earlier that was offside, but that was certainly the first fingertip save he had to make. The corner kick is whipped in. It's a good ball into the 6-yard box, headed away back into midfield. Rashford to Bruno Fernandes. Now it's with Fred down the right-hand side. Luke Shaw tried to clip that ball into the run of Mason Greenwood, but just overhits it slightly, and it is out for a goal. Can't tell you that Chelsea have scored a second against Malmo now. Christensen got the first goal for Chelsea, and now Jorginho from the penalty spot, putting Chelsea 2 up against the Swedish side.
That ball from Luke Shaw into Greenwood, not seen too much of Mason Greenwood in this first 20 minutes or so. It's been mostly Rashford and Ronaldo, and as an attacking force generally, Manchester United to be struggling a little bit. Got a good goal against Leicester at the weekend, but need to get him on the ball a little bit more down this right-hand side.
They certainly do, as United just trying to clear their lines again as Atalanta push forward. It's Wan-Bissaka's header reaches Jose Luis Palomino. He goes back towards his goalkeeper, Juan Musso. Now over towards Martin de Roon. I certainly remember starting out more as a defensive midfielder, but pretty much converted to a centre-back in a back three now. But here United win the ball back, and it's with Ronaldo. Finds Bruno Fernandes, his strike, charged down by Palomino, and then Palomino gets his head to it as well. Picked up in midfield now by Koopmeiners. He does really well to get that ball away from Ronaldo. And now Früller plays the ball into the path of Mahler down the left-hand side as Atalanta look to try and keep possession alive again. It's a good ball from Pasalic. But then I think Muriel had decided straight away that he was going to be in an offside position, so he didn't chase after it. Mahler did. But United now have it back with Lindelof, plays it to Greenwood. But look at the amount of white shirts in that United half. It's not easy here for United to get out, although Greenwood does really well. And he plays the ball square now to Ronaldo. There's a bit of space over on the left-hand side as Luke Shaw joins the attack now for Manchester United. Plays it in towards Marcus Rashford. He just runs that ball into Zappacosta. The move is still alive here for United down the left-hand side. Ronaldo and Rashford playing a quick 1-2. It's back with Ronaldo. The ball now deflects off Früller, but it's still alive here for United with McTominay. Over to Wan-Bissaka on the right-hand side. His cross charged down. Second ball reaches Wan-Bissaka, and the second cross is also charged down by Palomino, but it's just out for a throw.
Bit better from Manchester United. They've forced Atalanta into a couple of sort of desperate blocks. They're just having a little
I'll tell you
whether
what.
it was a handball, Palomino there, and he sort of moved his arm in towards the ball there, but his arm was still down by his side, and nothing's been decided there. But a little bit better for Manchester United.
A little bit better. I think they need to step up after that goal. The goal was scored on 16 minutes, and we're at 23 minutes now. We'll just see this little passage of play from United either break down or come to a conclusion. Then I'll hand over to my colleague for the rest of the game, but the rest of the half. But it's 5 shots from United, 1 on target, just 2 shots from Atalanta, 1 of them on target, and of course that was the goal that we saw from Pasalic. It's now with Bruno Fernandes switching play over towards the right-hand side, taken down by Mason Greenwood. Plays it square to Fred. Thought about hitting it with the left foot. That one is cleared by Demiral, but only as far as Lindelof. So United still close to the penalty area here with Rashford now down the left-hand side. He tries to force a cross in. He does put a cross in. Good header away by Demiral. The ball is back into midfield. So we've had 24 minutes in this first half. It is Manchester United 0, Atalanta 1, and it'll be John Francis to take us through to half-time.
Yeah, thanks, Paul. Remember the structure of the Champions League. Come back to that in a second. Manchester United are in down the left-hand side here. Fernandes plays it in, takes a deflection, and it goes into the side netting. Will be a corner to Manchester United, such is the structure of the Champions League. It's a double header against Atalanta. They'll go to Bergamo next as well. Manchester United, and whether to lose tonight, they'll be under real pressure.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think that if they were to lose this evening, it's still a long way to go, and they're doing the right things now to try and respond. But if they were to lose, it puts huge pressure on them, and there will be a cauldron atmosphere there as well.
Corner though to Manchester United. Fernandes with it from the far side. The United left plays it short actually to the corner of the area to Rashford, who thinks about a shot. It's well blocked from Atalanta. They were asleep from the corner initially, but got out quickly. Yeah, I mean, when you've got that many players in the box, that little layoff to Rashford and a shot from the edge of the area, there's just so many bodies in the way, including your own players. I think it's always a high risk strategy taking a shot like that. Maguire has it on the halfway line. He's been wandering back from the corner, but got possession back again. Fred is popped up on this right-hand side now to Greenwood, saying they need to get him on the ball a little bit more. Perhaps he's on the ball now, though. Comes in field. Little square pass into Fernandes. Koopmeiners sticking close to Fernandes, it seems, for Atalanta. Yeah, I think that for someone like Bruno Fernandes, if he has too much space in the middle, then he is going to be able to dictate things, particularly with Ronaldo just ahead of him. So it's not a bad idea just to have somebody on him just to try and slow him down. Here is Greenwood. He plays it short back to Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka to Lindelof. Of course, Raphael Varane still out, got injured on Nations League duty with France recently. A competition that France ended up winning in controversial circumstances. Here's Fred to McTominay, the midfield duo that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer tends to turn to in these big matches. But McTominay lost Pasalic for the goal. Here's Ronaldo into the box. 3 men around him, gets the shot away, but straight at Juan Musso, who made a comfortable enough save, but Ronaldo just didn't get the power in the shot there. Yeah, a bit of a nod from Ronaldo there, as if to acknowledge that maybe he could have thought about playing a ball square across the 6-yard box, firing at the goalkeeper near post. Goalkeeper's always odds on ready to make the save there. Yeah, Ronaldo, of course, the man who got the winner against Villarreal in the last match in the Champions League at Old Trafford, which was really harsh on the Spanish side. Unai Emery's side should have won that game, really. The chances they had, particularly in the first half. And Manchester United are losing this one. Atalanta leading by a goal to nil. Independent studio commentary on this Champions League encounter. And it's a goal from Mario Pasalic, which separates the two sides on the quarter-hour mark. Just after that, this is a nice little turn there from Ilicic, the Serbian, back to Joachim Mæhle. We, of course, caught the eye for Denmark at the Euros. Into Muriel now, playing good role, holding up the ball well for Atalanta when it goes into him, and then, of course, he gives it away just as a praise him. And here's Fernandes coming forward for Manchester United. 4 in this attack, looking for Rashford, but in steps Palomino, who's had a solid game back there for Atalanta in this first half. Now Zappacosta, likewise, in an attacking sense, and the two wing-backs linking up here. It's Mæhle down this left-hand side, little square ball in field, finding Freuler, the Swiss player, now to Koopmeiners. And Zappacosta once more. Koopmeiners has a bit of space here on the edge of the box. He hits the shot, it's deflected off Fernandes and behind for Atalanta. I just wonder if he had that second of hesitation because he saw Muriel in front of him. I just wondered if that perhaps stopped him. I mean, he's still got a very clean strike of the ball, but potentially he might have just been able to have done a little bit better there if his teammate hadn't have been so close to him. It's a set piece now for Atalanta. Yeah, the fans are in good voice, making a trip from Bergamo this evening, where Manchester United will head in their next group game, as we were saying. Corner then to Atalanta, who lead by a goal to nil. Played in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. It's a free header, and it's 2-0. And Manchester United were all over the place. Demiral has headed the Italians into a 2-goal lead, and he's got injured in the process. Yeah. He was carrying a knock before. He might have to go off, but he won't care. Yeah, he's hobbling as he scores this. It may well be a slight hamstring twinge that he had before, and now he's felt it even more. I think he's sort of wagging the finger towards the bench. I think he may have to go off, but he's done his job anyway. He's kept United quiet for the first half an hour, and now he's doubled Atalanta's lead. It's a lovely left-footed in-swinging corner and a powerful header. Again, United's marking is all at sea. Demiral
I mean, Maguire is close to him, but he's never really marking him in the sense that he's jumping with him. He's jumping from behind him, and it's effectively a free header for Demiral.
He hardly makes a move, does he? He makes like 1-2 steps, gets up in between Maguire and Shaw, and just nods it into the far corner. Well, doesn't nod it, he powers it into the far corner, and Gasperini punches air. And Cristiano Ronaldo was absolutely furious.
He was.
When that second goal went in. They've had 2 efforts on target, Atalanta, and they lead by 2-0. And Manchester United are in all sorts of trouble in this Champions League group. What response have they got? Here's Shaw straight away looking for Rashford, finds Fred, but then a good challenge going in. They just look more organised.
They do. There's more cohesion about them. They started the game with a game plan. It's almost like Manchester United are trying to respond to what Atalanta are doing. This is Manchester United playing at home. They don't need to wait for Atalanta. They should be setting the pace in this game. But you can see that Atalanta travelling support are absolutely loving this now. But United need to respond.
Ronaldo, jinky run into Fernandes. Here's a chance, maybe. Gets it onto his right foot, but he tries to square it across the penalty area rather than go for the shot. And Greenwood wasn't even there, and it's easily cleared by Atalanta. We're approaching the half hour. Atalanta lead by 2-0 at Old Trafford. And here's the score of the first goal. Pasalic and finds Szczerbakowicz on the right-hand side. The Atalanta fans were in good voice even before that corner came in, and then sent it to ecstasy by Demiral's header. I was saying about Atalanta, they'd scored in their last 8 consecutive games in all competitions. They found the net twice tonight.
They have, but I mean, every time I see this goal, it just begs the question, what are United doing in defence? I'm not just going to pick on Maguire, but Maguire is United's best defender. He's got the captain's armband, he's a centre-back, and he's 2 yards away from Demiral, who's jumping in the middle of the 6-yard box with nobody jumping with him. That's just not good enough. If you saw a team at National League level marking like that, you'd say, well, why aren't you marking your man? And, to do that at Champions League level is just not good enough, and it's put United in a very, very difficult position now. Both teams playing away from home this evening in this group are now 2-0 up.
Yeah, they lost a goal from a corner at the weekend, didn't they? It did bobble around in the area, and it was Demiral's Turkish teammate, Sonchu, scored at the weekend, and now Demiral has scored himself. 31 minutes on the clock, and Manchester United are 2 down. They were a little bit fortunate against Villarreal. They were only 1 down. They could have been more down at half-time, and it's a lot worse, isn't it, than that game tonight for them, and Atalanta are giving them the runaround, really. And it's Manchester United's chance to try and respond, but so far they've had no answer, really. Just well organised at the back. The back 3 for Atalanta, and the 2 wing-backs tucking in there, making it really difficult for Manchester United to find a way.
Well, now Atalanta, of course, can put up the shutters to some extent. I don't think they will. That wouldn't be in their style to sit back, but they can make it difficult. They condense that midfield area for United to try and get forward, and now with a 2-goal lead, they can really frustrate United.
Yeah, we were saying about the goal-scoring feats. They are actually 11 unbeaten in all competitions, Atalanta. They are only 6 in Serie A. They've drawn a few games, but in this group, they've got 4 points in the first 2 matches, a draw with Villarreal and then beating Young Boys. And so they are in decent nick, even though the Serie A table maybe doesn't reflect that. Here's Rashford down the left channel. That's a decent play from Rashford, and he's trying to claim the throw in there. Atalanta trying to say that went off Rashford, de Roon, the former Middlesbrough man, of course. And focus on Paul Pogba. He was quite vocal in saying not much at the weekend, wasn't he? Just saying something had to change. And,
yeah, that's right. I mean, it's, as I say, when you're Manchester United manager, you can never rest on your laurels. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, despite being a popular player, and initially when he came in seemed to be the answer, then he wasn't the answer, then he was again. And now the last 5 or 6 games, it does seem as though the detractors are sort of gathering here and saying that perhaps Solskjaer isn't the solution. And I mean, it's difficult to say. You look at United's form going into this game, just the 1 win in their last 5 games, and that was that crucial 2-1 win against Villarreal, which wasn't even that straightforward for them.
No, absolutely not. Of course, they've got Liverpool at the weekend, haven't they? Long ball here from De Gea over the top, looking for Rashford, but again, good awareness from the Argentine keeper, Juan Musso. Manchester United take the throw in quickly, trying to get a goal back here before half-time. Still 12 minutes of the first half remaining. Atalanta lead by 2-0. Here's Ronaldo, left corner of the area, but that was easily intercepted there by Ilicic. Finds Koopmeiners, and then goes off Luke Shaw. It's a throw to Atalanta on the far side, midway inside their own half. Another shake of the head from Cristiano.
Yeah, he's been shaking his head, but not heading the ball very much, not getting close to goal at all here, Ronaldo. It's been a very, very tough half here for Manchester United. We both felt as though there was a chance that we could see a half like this, but sort of wondering whether United, after that, the defeat against Leicester, whether they would just be looking to really get started quickly, but hasn't proved to be the case. It's Atalanta who are moving forward now.
Look at the space here on the right-hand side. Just a better ball, and Szczerbakowicz would have been in down the right there.
Is that a better ball, or does Szczerbakowicz need to be that little bit quicker? Because you look at the way that Gianpiero Gasperini has charged back towards his dugout, having seen that. Is he unhappy with the pass, or is he unhappy with the way it was not received?
A bit of both, I
think both,
maybe,
yeah.
I think Gasperini feels that Atalanta could finish this game by half-time if they were to get another goal.
Yeah, and I think he's concerned that, of course, if they don't get a third goal and perhaps United were to get a quick goal back either before half-time or just after, suddenly Old Trafford would come alive and then Atalanta could be under real pressure. But you have to say, you can't predict it now. The way United are playing now, I mean, they have got players who can create something out of nothing, but just from open play, it's just not looking good for United right now.
A few people in the crowd throwing their arms up in frustration as Fred's pass there was almost intercepted by Muriel. And here come Atalanta again with Koopmeiners down this right-hand side. Has Szczerbakowicz again inevitably out wide right. Again, not picked up, but this time Koopmeiners makes a bit of a mess of it. Fred nips in, and now Rashford over the halfway line finds Ronaldo. Ronaldo, though, just runs into Demiral, who's gone out there with him onto that far touchline. And it's a throw-in to Manchester United on the far side. Looks all right again, Demiral. He's just held the back of his thigh again there, didn't he, as the ball came in. And now Ronaldo's up against him, and he's onto that right foot. Looks at the side of goal, goes down in the area, looks at the Polish referee for a penalty, and the referee has just given a goal kick.
He has, yeah. Ronaldo, another shake of the head. He's going to get a record number of the shakes of the head this evening, the amount of times he's done it already. But he breaks into the box here, and no, he's falling over himself there. There's never a penalty there. No. And I don't think that as Demiral
does well, actually, Demiral.
Yeah, just does enough to put Ronaldo off without fouling him. And I think that Ronaldo's surprised expression there was more for the cameras, because he knew he was never going to get a penalty for that.
No. Extremely soft, and you never know, might have been overturned anyway, although they're not really overturned these days, are they, if they look at them? Or rather, they are if the referee does.
They are, yeah. I'm still not convinced about the way in which the VAR does it, whereby the referee stands in the middle of the pitch for 3 minutes, telling everyone to calm down, and then goes over to look. Surely it'd be a lot easier if he just ran over and looked at it straight away. But that aside, it was always going to have teething problems. I think VAR still has its enemies, it still has its faults, but overall, I think it is working more efficiently this year. It's a great ball over the top for Ronaldo.
Yeah, Ronaldo edge in the area, just couldn't take it out in front of him. He's found, he's offside actually. He found Rashford, but again, doesn't agree with the decision, Cristiano Ronaldo.
No, he doesn't. He's certainly not offside when that ball is. Ooh, I tell you what.
He's on there, isn't he?
I think he's.
He actually couldn't get it under. He couldn't get it out of his.
No, I mean, I think he was going to lose the ball anyway. There, you mentioned there was potentially a chance of a free kick there as well for a foul on him, but yeah, that was a very close decision there. Looked like he might have just been level.
Yes, with Palomino at the back for Atalanta, and it's now out to. Darun on the far side. Little mistake there from Szczerbakowicz, but Fred can't capitalise. Maguire pushed well forward, and he's back with Victor Lindelof, who of course lost his place in the side once Rafael Varane arrived on the scene. But of course the injury to Varane means that Lindelof back in for now. Eric Bailly on the bench this evening. Here's Fernandes. Not much of a challenge there from Atalanta this time, but a terrible pass from Fernandes. And it just runs out of play, and it's a goal kick. Rashford had no chance of getting that, and it's 2-0 Atalanta.
Yeah, it's 2-0 Atalanta with 7 minutes to play, 7.5 minutes to play in this first half. I reckon we'll get a minute of injury time, no more. This Polish referee tends to be pretty prompt with his first halves, but we'll mention that potential changes. The United bench, it's a long bench. The United have used their full allocation. I won't go through everybody on there, but in terms of attacking options, there's Cavani, there's Lingard, there's Sancho, there's Pogba. Alex Telles can come on and play as an emergency winger as well, Van der Beek. So, and you were out, of course, to make 5 changes in Champions League games. So Solskjaer can mix it up if he needs to.
There's a few rumblings that maybe Cavani should be starting with Ronaldo, as one of the options.
I don't think I've seen the two of them play very many times for United so far.
No, I don't think they have. Palomino has it for Atalanta, just short of the halfway line, clips it over the top, looking for Muriel, but it's Lindelof who tidies up, and he goes back to David De Gea, who hasn't actually made a save tonight. He's just picked the ball out of the net twice.
Yeah.
Finds Luke Shaw on the halfway line for Manchester United. That's Fred inside of him, but again goes back to Maguire, and frustration from some of the Manchester United fans there that going all the way up to the halfway line. It's all the way back with De Gea again, and they're 2-0 down in this Champions League group encounter. And as Paul was saying, currently bottom of this group, and it's hardly the group of death, you have to say, no disrespect to the teams that are in it, but
no, I think on paper you'd say these two teams would probably fancy themselves as being first and second, but then of course Villarreal could have something to say about that. They've got plenty of Champions League pedigree over the years, and Young Boys are a team that could certainly cause anybody problems at home and could potentially be a banana skin away. So there are no gimmies in the Champions League, but I think looking at some of the other groups, United probably would have been happy when they saw this drawn.
It was Villarreal's win over Manchester United in the Europa League final that put them into the Champions League. So maybe Manchester United don't have themselves to blame that Villarreal are in this group.
Absolutely.
It's with Fred here on the in centre field, Rashford rather, to Wan-Bissaka. McTominay's up in this attack. Here's Fernandes, edge of the area. It took a slight deflection, that cross, and it took it into the arms of Juan Musso. Looked very confident at the back, the Argentine. Just rolls it out into the penalty area. Palomino, that's an error though from Atalanta, a rare one in this first half that was made there by Freuler, and it's pounced upon by Greenwood, but they've really done much with it. They had a chance there with Atalanta not really having many players back. Wan-Bissaka plays it in towards Rashford, he can't control it, and Demiral has had a very eventful first half, has whacked it out of play for a throw into Manchester United down this near side. Pasalic on 15, Demiral 29, the two goal scorers. And Manchester United have this throw-in, which Fernandes leaves for Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Greenwood loses it far too easily there, and Muriel back helping out and drives forward, but he loses it. Lindelof can get possession back for Manchester United. 5 minutes left in the first half. Reminded Chelsea lead by 2-0 against Malmo. And Villarreal lead 2-0 against Young Boys. No goals anywhere else in the later games. Salzburg beat Wolfsburg 3-1. Barcelona beat Dinamo Kiev by 1-0. Much needed win for them.
Also worth mentioning that Europa League game played today. Leicester City beating Spartak Moscow away. Patson Daka scoring 4 goals in that 4-3 win for Leicester City.
Yeah, he did. Here's Coop Miners, ball into Muriel, space on the edge of the box, goes for the shot, but didn't get any power on it. But again,
he had more time. He had more time than the shot. I mean, we've seen Muriel playing with both left and right. I'm not sure which foot he would have preferred today. He seemed like he was set to shoot on his right foot. That effort he had earlier in the half was off his left foot, which was charged down by Wan-Bissaka. But now a ball over top here for Rashford.
Yeah, he's in on goal here. Rashford, chance, great tackle from Demiral right at the last-ditch moment, and he shouts at himself there that he's done a good job. And not sure the flag did go up either. He was through.
I'll tell you what, Demiral celebrated this. You're starting to see this more often now. It's almost
onside.
He is onside. It's something that I think our footballers have picked up from the NFL. The idea that defensive players start celebrating clearances and tackles as if they were goals, and you can see Demiral there fist pumping and jumping up in the air as if he just scored a goal. But do you know what? He deserves every bit of credit, because to tackle Rashford like that at full pace is absolutely superb.
Just wonder whether that was a little bit of rustiness from Marcus Rashford. The chance was there, wasn't it? But I think maybe against Leicester he didn't really have much time to think about it, just hit it. And, whereas he had a lot more time there. And
I can tell you as well that Bayern Munich very briefly had led against Benfica with Lewandowski with the goal. It's just been disallowed by VAR for a handball. So Benfica, Bayern Munich and Lille, Sevilla, they're still the two games that are goalless so far this evening, as is Zenit against Juventus.
Ilicic there was offside as he tried to get the ball near the edge of the Manchester United penalty area. 2.5 minutes left of this first half. Ronaldo into Bruno Fernandes. And they're starting to talk of Manchester United as a team of individuals and not a team after the Leicester performance. And nothing much has changed to think otherwise, really, in this first half.
No, it's
Atalanta look a team, don't they?
They do, and as you mentioned, it doesn't get any easier for Manchester United. They play at home to Liverpool at the weekend, then the small matter of Spurs away the Saturday after. Then they have the game against Atalanta. Then they have a game against Manchester City before the international break. So it's fair to say that end of October and start of November, Solskjaer really is fighting for his job here, you would say.
Yeah, possibly so. And let's not forget, Liverpool have scored 3 goals in every away game they've played this season.
At least.
Yeah, at least, yeah. They'll be licking their lips at coming to Old Trafford. But that's for the weekend. This is for now. Manchester United have a Job to do here. They're 2 goals down. That's nice play, though. Fred into the box. Real chance here to get back in it. Oh, and he's missed the target. Can you believe it? Fernandez played him in there, and Fred did all the hard work, got it onto his right foot, maybe wrong man, right place, and it's wide.
It's one of those where if Bruno Fernandes had got that pass from Fred, then we'd be talking about United getting a goal back here. Such a great opportunity. Ronaldo is there with his hands pointing to his feet. Play it square to me. I'll get the job done. Fred wants to do it himself, and he misses the target.
Well, he's got to score, hasn't he? He's got to score there.
Oh, he does. Whether you're a centre-back or a centre-forward, you're in that position. Every outfield player does enough ball work to be able to finish from that sort of range.
What a tonic it would have been for Manchester United just before the break. Don't think we're going to get much time added on here.
Minute, I think, maximum, I would have thought.
Yeah, not been any injuries. Just the injury to Demiral, but he carried on playing throughout, so he hasn't wasted any time. It's Maguire, the Manchester United captain, finds Wan-Bissaka on this near side, the United right, into Greenwood, back to McTominay. McTominay switches it to the left-hand side, and Luke Shaw, who's into the Atalanta half. Again, though, goes backwards to Fred, who's on the centre circle, and finds McTominay. Atalanta all back behind the ball. Again, well-organised Italian side, and looking to see it out to the break here, and looks like they might do as well. Demiral just gets there ahead of Rashford. Again, he's hobbling there as he clears the ball.
He is, yeah. I mean, I think he's going to play out. We've got a minute of injury time to play now as we go into that 1 minute. Demiral is going to stay on the field, but I would think he may have to go off at half-time.
Yeah, here's Zappacosta, the ex-Chelsea man. Didn't really work out for him there at Stamford Bridge.
And that wasn't because I don't think he didn't get...
It's a competition for places.
Yeah, competition for places. I think it was just one of those things where he couldn't fit the mould at that time. But United, 30 seconds to go. They've got one more chance, you feel.
Yeah, here's Greenwood down the right-hand side. 11 on his back. Finds Fernandez. Whips it in, although it deflects actually off an Atalanta player. And crosses the halfway line. And it's Fernandez himself who scampers back after this one. And just the last few seconds of this disappointing first half. Again, a long ball from Manchester United, but a mistake from Demiral this time, and Rashford's missed it again. He's blazed it over the top, and that was another golden chance.
Great chance. Does he need to go for this smashed finish? Could he not just take a little bit more of a touch and try and place this one into the back of the net? That's surely going to be the last chance of the half. It doesn't look as though there was an offside there. Big mistake there from Demiral, and Rashford. He has actually clipped the bar, so it's not far wide. It's gone just over the bar, and that's going to be it for this first half.
Demiral hasn't put a foot wrong apart from then in the first half, and that is half time. And Atalanta, with beaming smile on Gasparini's face, they lead Manchester United by 2 goals to 0.